stars, and that's who we are. We are voices. There's nothing to fear. Exploding your rear. Feel our voices.
Bigger. Ah. Ah. Metal. Ah. VOR is back, brother.
What you gonna do when Trace Beaulieu runs wild on you?
Oh.
I like the crazy eyes. So that's Trace. This is Ed.
This is Michael.
And this is Carl. Day 2 with Trace Beaulieu. I'm a poet and didn't know it.
And you smelt
I've been
it.
sitting in this chair since yesterday.
Yeah. Hey, he's got the inflatable ass donut underneath.
We're really lucky. We get these guests that are willing to sit with us an entire week and just talk. Don't even change their clothes. Don't get up for a drink or anything.
I just sit here until you say, okay, it was 24 hours ago. Let's talk again. Okay, let's go.
And then for you to sit here and just wait for people to click on our video so you can do it live. That's just, man, that's dedication.
I'm just here for you guys.
And if that's the longest burning log in history. Who makes that? Can you get that at Home Depot?
That's just a remote. I have an app on my phone, and I go log, and it comes up. Oh wait, I went to the internet. Oh, you don't want to see that. Oh.
Logboy.com.
Log.com.
I put that in.
Hot log.
Now, what was that again? I'd like to see that.
So what's going on? It's been such a long time since we've chatted.
Well, I think we left off. We were talking about Mystery Science Theater 3000 fans.
Mm-hmm.
So we might as well talk some more about them.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been a while since you guys have been on the air, because you made the jump from comedy to sci-fi, and that was about when you left. But such a long time in there. Are you surprised by how dedicated the fan base is still to this day? Like, because you guys can go into towns and just pack arenas practically.
It is still pretty remarkable, and for the last 6 years we've been doing Cinematic Titanic live, which is basically, riffing on a movie in a theater live. The 5 of us, Jay Elvis, or Josh, as he is also known, Mary Jo, Frank, Joel, myself, and it's been such a treat to be able to meet the fans now. Because for years we just did the show in a little warehouse in Eden Prairie, and now we are allowed out into the real world, and we get to meet people, which is so much fun. And we meet people that came to our conventions, 20 years ago with their kids, who are now in their 20s. They came with their babies, and now they're full grown. And they've passed the legacy down. And then there's also kids who picked it up just on DVD, and now they're watching it with their parents. And it's such a thrill to get to talk to these people and go, it's a real family experience. And there's not a lot of shows that you can share, generationally like that. I wish I could have gotten my parents into Python. That's kind of how I feel like these people are passing it on. But I try to explain Python, and they you got to watch it.
Right.
Yeah. And then when it comes to your mom, she's like, look, I'm a girl. Girls, no, Python.
And then you always got to find like the perfect Python in, because if you get something too far out there, people are like, "What is this?" You got to slowly like ease them into it with like a Holy Grail, or or a lumberjack skit, or something like
Start
that.
with the larch.
Yeah. Well, Mystery Science is the same thing. We've heard, how I'm trying to get my girlfriend or my parents into Mystery Science. What's the best episode? What's what's the first taste is free kid moment, because you got to choose wildly, or wisely anyway. You can't start them off on Manos, because they'll go running. Maybe Mitchell, maybe.
I was going to suggest Mitchell because that is a great. You guys did an awesome job on it, and also you get Joel and Mike, so it's a twofer.
That's right. That's right. You get both Darrens.
Yes.
Now, what's amazing about Mystery Science Theater is because as a warm up to the show, I watched it through high school. I discovered it because I was up too late at night, and I'll watch funny movies, but I'll never laugh out loud when I'm alone. It's like, inside it's hilarious, but I'm alone, so it's, and I'll tell people how funny it was. It was 1 a.m, and I was laughing my ass off. I don't even know the name of the movie, but I just told my friend, I'm like, this was on, we need to find out what it is, and we need to get together, we need to make this happen, and we both were like, Misty's for life. But that was, you're known for sci-fi and horror schlock, but the one I warmed up with was I Accuse My Parents.
Yes.
Some weird 40s, almost juvenile delinquent warning tale for 2 hours. Oh, warning tale and musical. A lot of musical numbers for some reason.
Yeah.
You guys killed it.
The thing that those films had in common, either the bad sci-fi, the bad monster movies, or those Encyclopedia Britannica produced shorts that we did, or they all had that pomposity of, America from the 30s, 40s, and 50s, where we're on top, we know everything that's good for you, and we're right. And I suspect even the kids then were kind of going, no, this is just, this isn't the way reality works. But there's something great about going up against that comedically. It's I've always thought it's like the Marx Brothers and Margaret Dumont, where she represents society and that sort of stuffed shirt attitude, and then they come through and poke holes in all of that pomposity. And those movies like I Accuse My Parents just presented on such a thick slab of we know better than you do on white bread.
Which opens itself up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're gonna fix you people.
Yeah.
Was there, when it came to like the films and stuff that were used, I guess this kind of folds into two questions, and I apologize, but like, was there anything that just never happened because it was off-brand? Because the thing about it is Mystery Science definitely has its thing, its look, its feel, its vibe, its identity, its brand. Did you guys ever, this could be fun, I really could have done something with this, but the film itself just isn't it?
We know right away if we could do something with a film. And we would lose them for all sorts of reasons. Either we would fall in love with them because an example is Charo with Elvis Presley. We absolutely thought we have to do this. It's fantastic. It's Elvis, and it's terrible.
Right.
But Disney had the rights to it by that time, so there was no hope that we would ever get that. There were other things. Oh, there was a John Travolta, Lily Tomlin movie. I can't think of the name of it, but it was a romantic movie with those two characters.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how that even got shot. I don't remember. I can't remember what the name of it is, but you can Google it. But often they would fall out of our grasp for the right reasons, and something equally as terrible would present itself that we were almost forced to do in some cases.
Really?
We would pick like 3 films that we loved. We'll do these 3. And then we would go back to the channel and they go, well, the distributor requires you to take these other couple of movies that you don't want. And sometimes that combination was perfect for really inducing that trapped in space, forced to watch bad movies quality. because we'd be at the end of the day, and this is a first world problem if there is ever a first world problem. We just watched a bad movie all day, starting and stopping in every couple of seconds, that were just so debilitating and rendering us just absolutely drained. And go, that was a hard day's work. And you go, what'd you do? We watched television. And then, try to get any sympathy for that.
Well, I have to say, like, you're on, and I understand that with television, it's being recorded, blah 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 blah. You can go back, oh, that really wasn't funny, or could you have resaid this? Everything was so off the cuff, and like we've aped your vibe. We've done it. Like we used to do Star Wars commentaries.
Yeah.
And we would sit and watch the shows together, and it was always me because my character within the VOR was more bleh. And I would say these things, and they were like, "This is great. This is great. He's on. Let's go roll the film and watch it." And I'd be off. It'd be ice. I'd fall asleep. I think I fell asleep during like 2 of them. And did you ever have those things where those moments where you just couldn't pull anything out of you that was on or funny?
Well, fortunately, when we got to the channel and we were writing them, we were scripting these, we had up to 10 people in the writer's room. So if you could not produce for a particular moment, somebody else had the joke.
Cool.
When we were first starting, it was all improv, and if you go back, there's a lot of holes, a lot of air in those shows, because it's a hard thing to keep up and think of what is good, and even with 3 guys, it's still very airy. So I don't recommend those other than a historical record.
Did it ever throw that back on dirty? Did it ever get like too dirty or too anything? Like you were just like, oh god, this show could have just been great, but it's just too.
Oh, absolutely. We policed ourselves all the time. The writers' room was the funnest place to be on the planet when we were all firing, and it would get blue as writers' rooms get, but we all knew what would make it into the show and what wouldn't. There was. We were very aware of kids were watching this, so try to still craft a joke that was funny that the kids wouldn't get until maybe they're a few years older, and then hopefully the parent watching with them would get it and go, "Oh, never you mind, youngster. That'll make sense later."
Now, was it ever stressful? I mean, because you're writing, you have to watch these horrible movies at least twice. You're writing these jokes, then you have to perform both as Dr. Forrester and as Crow, holding a puppet backwards, looking at a monitor, maybe, I don't know. I mean, was it ever like, oh, we got to do this every week?
We were moving so quickly. We turned our show around in 7 days when we were in a production cycle, that it was just, kind of on to the next thing, just chewing through a lot of material, and we didn't do a lot of self-doubt, when we're writing stuff. And there wasn't a lot of time to go back and go, oh, and really kind of Hollywood the script. And oh, I'm sorry, my eggs are done.
Damn. Conversation interrupt this. And he's like, oh, and I lost my point. You can go ahead.
So I think that was kind of an advantage too. That you look at a lot of shows that you go, why isn't this funny? It's like they just get so decided down. It's like it's so overworked, and we didn't have that luxury. We just had to keep cranking it out. Also, we had a 2-hour show, and you might just be remembering the best parts,
Right?
Not the clunkers.
I guess.
Yeah. Comedy by committee, not a great formula.
In our case, it was. We had 10 writers, and they're all pitching in, and the deciding factor was the best joke for that moment won the day.
You guys also benefited because comedy was pretty hands off there at times when it came to the content, weren't there? Because I think I heard a story where one time you said like in the script like Joel enters in drunk off his ass or something like that.
Scrawny ass, I believe it was. Yeah, we threw that in because we were going. We don't think anyone's reading these scripts because we never got a note. We never ever got any feedback because those guys were in New York. And then we put that in, and we got a note back. Fax machine. Might not be a good idea for Joel to be drunk off any kind of ass, you know. Scrawny or well endowed.
Scrawny or otherwise.
His juicy ass.
Yeah.
Well, that's great stuff. Well, we should probably wrap it up and let Mr. Beaulieu have a nap until our next show tomorrow this time.
Yeah, just put your head down. We'll be quiet. We'll keep it quiet.
We'll turn off the lights. We'll mute the microphones.
Yes.
The exact same place again. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
See
sir.
you tomorrow.
Yep, same time, same bad channel. So until tomorrow, if you have any comments on everything you've seen thus far, you can go to vorradio.com and check out links to the video, the audio, and we recommend subscribing on iTunes so that way it comes right to your computer, free, no questions asked. We won't even look at your smut. Just saying. If you do...
Speak for yourself.
Always looking for new smut.
If you'd like to be a smut pal with Mike, you can contact us at voiceofrep@gmail.com. If you'd like to share some of your own smut, maybe you've got a really dirty voice, maybe you're a dirty girl or a dirty boy, we are wide open.
We go both ways. It's phone calls.
It's phone calls.
We've got stereo audio, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink.
Left channel, right channel, left channel, right channel. Yeah, the Republicom, always open. Call us at 407-409-8749. You've got 2 minutes to turn us on.
All right.
Cool. So, till tomorrow, we'll be back with Trace Beaulieu. May the Force
Be with.
That ass.